And we're not going to waste any time. Let's start off with breaking news. A positive case at East Ridge Mall in Gastonia. Friday, we showed you this video of people packing the mall minutes after opening. Now we've learned one person at the license plate shop in the mall has tested positive. Let's turn now to reporter Ken Lemon. He joins us live now. And Ken, just walk us through what you learned just in the last 2 hours.
Well, I was able to confirm that one person tested positive at that office inside that mall here. We're now reaching out to the health department about contact tracing. That is, getting in contact with anyone who may have come in contact with that individual here at that office and finding out their level of exposure. I did talk to one Channel 9 viewer who says he was in here last week before that announcement was made inside, and he says that the person that waited on him did not have gloves or a mask, and that few people inside also use them. You can't get into that office now. There is a note on the outside entrance to the mall warning people that the office is closed until the 18th. This is the office that issues vehicle registrations, license plates, so there are hand-to-hand exchanges. We've learned that the office is shut down Friday morning when they were informed that a worker tested positive. The mall opened for business for the first time in weeks that evening, but that office had already been closed for hours by then. This morning, we found people going to those doors trying to get inside.
I had no idea until I met you this morning there was even a positive case at the mall. I'm very surprised that a government agency like the DMV would have a COVID case, a positive case inside the facility.
And this is a public place, but it is privately operated. The state stepped in and told them they had to shut down. So we're now reaching out for someone at the state now to try and find out what they're doing to try to prevent this from happening again. Damani.
All right, Ken Lemon reporting live for us tonight. Thank you so much for that. Well, North Carolina saw another jump in cases yesterday. Take a look at this map here. But 5% of the total tests conducted were positive, which is flat. Now, this map shows you the cases in our local counties. Mecklenburg has the most of any county in the state at more than 2,200. And we won't get an update from South Carolina for a little bit, so here's where things stand right now. And you can see the state has half as many cases as North Carolina. Well, ahead in just a few minutes, we will look at the new warning from doctors about a rare inflammatory disease, as well as the changes to local graduations. Well, also breaking right now, a manhunt is underway to find the person who shot a man in the head with a crossbow. Now, more than a dozen deputies are searching off of Hunterwood Drive in Burke County, and that's where we find our Dave Faraday live. Dave.
Damani, I just spoke with the sheriff. He is telling me that the victim is in very serious condition, has been rushed to the hospital. If you look behind me, you can see the entire yard is roped off with crime scene tape. Investigators are up in the driveway. They've interviewed several family members who were actually inside the home when that crossbow was fired. Take a look at some of this video we shot. We arrived minutes after deputies got to the home on Hunterwood Drive. We could see paramedics move the victim, who had been shot with a crossbow, to an ambulance in the driveway. Authorities confirm that he was rushed to the hospital with the arrow still in his head. In the last hour, deputies have put out a reverse 911 call, asking residents within 5 miles of the home to be on the lookout for this man, Ziggy Jackson. They're describing Jackson as a person of interest, telling us they believe he is the one who fired the crossbow. The sheriff believes what happened here was intentional and says there may be more families at home in the area because of the stay-at-home orders.
Apparently, there was a guy shot with a crossbow into the head. I think I've been to only one other incident where a crossbow was involved.
Was that an accident, though, or?
Yes, it was.
Not intentional like this?
Right.
And the sheriff is telling us that they believe that suspect, or that person of interest, I should say, Jackson, took off on foot, ran off on foot, did not get a car and leave the area. I did get a chance to talk with family members just about 5-10 minutes ago, including a man who was inside the home. He is telling me that family right now is praying for the man who was shot here with that crossbow, and also asking Jackson, if he's out there, to turn himself in to authorities. Back to you, Damani.
And our thoughts and prayers go out to that man and his family. Well, at least 30 shootings in the last several days across Charlotte. 3 of those shootings happened yesterday alone. When police tell our Mark Becker this needs to stop now, and they often stem from small arguments, Mark.
Yeah, Damani, police said this morning, let's face it, COVID-19 has really taken over our lives, right? It certainly focused the discussion of any public conversation. But violent crime hasn't stopped. In fact, it has spiked, they say, in the last week or so. 30 shootings, 11 people hurt, and this morning they showed 2 very good and disturbing examples of that. The first video is from a shooting on Twin Brook Drive in North Charlotte on April 8th, and you can see a man fire a semi-automatic rifle in what police say was a domestic dispute where 60 shots were fired. The second was on May 1st at an apartment complex also in North Charlotte. That was a shootout, and Deputy Chief Gerald Smith said the incident was especially disturbing because you can hear and feel the terror of the people nearby.
If you stop and don't count the number of bullets and the number of rounds that are fired out there, but listen to the panic and the residents' voices out there, hopefully that will help energize people when we ask for help.
Now, here are some sobering numbers that really crystallize the violent crime problem this year. Police say we've averaged 9 violent crimes a day in 2020, and that includes 7 assaults involving guns and 2 armed robberies where guns were used. And Damani, police say this really has to stop. There were, as you say, just 3 shootings just yesterday alone, and several of them involved teenagers. Damani?
Well, we can only hope that people get the message that this violence does have to stop. Mark, thank you so much. Well, let's turn now to weather. It's a great start to the day, but things over the next 24 hours, 48 hours will be looking up. Let's turn it over now to meteorologist Keith Monday. Keith.
Yeah, Damani, it is still gray and gloomy out there. We will gain more sunshine this afternoon. A few areas, though, up north in the mountains will still have a few raindrops, though. Right now, live early warning Doppler 9 and fairly clear scan compared to the light rain that we had early this morning. But in the mountains, there are still a few light showers hanging on, and we'll see a few more of these linger at times throughout the day today, but in the mountains only. You'll see in the future cast as we go through the late afternoon, early evening, a few more raindrops do start to move in up there, whereas elsewhere, looks pretty quiet as we go our way through the rest of the evening. May spread a few more clouds, a few sprinkles up north, but looks relatively dry going into early tomorrow. Temps are starting to rebound from Charlotte south, where we're sitting in the low to mid 60s. Even some 70s already showing up farther south. But a cool pocket of air up north will be slow to erode away. Ahead, we'll discuss how much warmer weather is going to be around for everybody as we head our way into the weekend.
All right, thanks a lot, Keith. Well, new at noon, the CDC is getting ready to warn all doctors in the U.S. to watch for a dangerous and rare inflammatory disease in children that could be linked to COVID-19. Parents, listen up here. We told you it's called Kawasaki disease and leaves children fighting fevers, inflammation, and even poor organ function. At least 13 states are reporting cases, including New York. It's investigating around 100 cases, including the death of 3 children.
This is a truly disturbing situation, and I know parents around the state and around the country are very concerned about this. And these children don't present the usual COVID symptoms.
Well, take a look here. This 8-year-old came home yesterday after spending 2 weeks in a hospital. He tested negative for coronavirus, but positive for the antibodies. Doctors gave him medication used to treat Kawasaki disease. Well, these cases have our local doctors on alert as well. We will speak with doctors at Levine Children's Hospital this afternoon on what they're doing. Our full reports will air today at 5 o'clock. Well, graduation, it's a big discussion in every single district. CMS seniors will now have a virtual commencement this year and will be able to pick up their diploma in a drive-through ceremony. Some students are disappointed, but school leaders say this is the best case scenario.
We're going to be happy and celebrate this incredible class, and we know that great things are ahead.
CMS intends to hold an in-person event when conditions permit. And we know now what graduation will look like in Lancaster County. Ceremonies for all 4 high schools will be held at football stadiums. Everyone will have their temperature checked as they enter. Only 2 guests are allowed per student. When each senior gets their diploma, they must leave the ceremony, meaning some students won't get to see their classmates graduate. Well, our Greg Suskin is asking the district about this plan and talking to parents about the requirements. His full story today at 5, right here on Channel 9. Well, all new at noon, Charlotte Douglas leaders unveiled their plans to create a new front door to the airport. The concept is creative. You got to check it out here. Take a look. This is a rendering of what an area that will soon be referred to as the Destination District. It will be right off of I-85. Planners say they're envisioning restaurants, office space, hotels, and parking lots right there. There's also plans for a light rail station that would take travelers straight to their terminal.